What's going on, guys? Hope all is well. I'm here at Caesar's Palace. Forum shops in this cool dealio where it's like you're indoors, but it looks like you're outdoors. I don't know. I'm kind of a sucker for this thing. I think it's pretty cool. And just hanging out with these two buff dudes back here holding tridents, looking like badass warriors. And I kind of wanted to talk about something that I was just reminded of last night. I had the privilege of having dinner with a number of just unbelievable personalities and people. It was a real honor. And I can't say exactly who or anything, just, it's just not something I'm going to do. But the point isn't who it was specifically, but there were some legendary people there's a guy as legendary as it gets in the military, someone I've read about, someone who's the real deal times a million. And I was actually sitting next to him and shared a lot of conversation with him. A really well accomplished, well-respected astronaut, some incredible businessmen that have been highly successful, just some really intense personalities and people. The amazing thing about the whole thing was this. With all of those, the accomplishments of these guys, all right? Now, I think I've accomplished some things, I'll give myself that. I've got a lot of work to do. And I also believe in myself. I absolutely believe I can be the best at what I do, and that's my intention. I'm working really hard at trying to learn every day and get better and improve, because that's what I need to do to achieve that. So that's fine. But these guys have accomplishments that are, it's almost, you wouldn't believe it if you didn't. It's stuff that like legends are made out of. It's so epic, it's almost ridiculous. And in this room, during this, it was like almost a 3-hour dinner. During this 3-hour dinner, the ego in the room was like, it was just non-existent. Like honestly, it was a place of love. Not like in the sense that everybody was like smelling flowers or anything, but just a very calm, confident, but very open, and there's a lot of great communication. Everyone was just enjoying each other's company and having such a wonderful time, and there were no egos involved, which is unbelievable considering who was there. And I watched these guys, and I talked with them, and they were just like, it was incredible. There was definitely a palpable confidence, but it wasn't an egoic confidence. It was like a fear-based type of thing, like this, I gotta puff my chest out, I have to tell you about all these things I've done and all the cool people I know and how many times I had lunch with the President of the United States, and this one time when you know what I mean? It was none of that. It was this confidence through wisdom and experience, and just this absolute confidence at a core level of these people knowing who they were and being absolutely sure of that. There was no egoic, fear-based, chest puffing, I've got to be, bigger, stronger than you. I've got to dominate the conversation and be a tough alpha dude. That's fucking bullshit. That's cheap. That's cheap confidence. That's cheap. That's not alpha. A lot of the stuff you hear people talk about alpha this, alpha that. I hate that word, because honestly, a lot of the things that are associated with being an alpha are fucking egoic. And they're very fear-based. They're very, what I would consider to be very just, weak, to be honest with you. And pathetic. And these guys were not alphas. These guys were something different. These guys had transcended alpha, into something that was non-egoic and was very just at a core knowing who you are and having this calm confidence and not needing to be, look at me, center of attention. Really open to making connections. You have some guys in there that were just some of those badass dudes on planet Earth, and we're having these emotional conversations, at the end of the night, and just really connecting having some wonderful conversation. And it's like these guys were just open. They were so secure in themselves that they were totally open to that naturally, and still maintain this incredible presence that you have to respect when you feel it. It's when you're there, you can feel it. And it just really impressed upon me this idea of, this alpha, what we consider to be strong, dominant, confident traits, and how honestly a lot of people have it wrong. And mindfulness, meditation, helps you disconnect from the egoic mind, which helps you center yourself and not be too swayed. You know, when things are up, your head doesn't get too blown up. When things are down, you don't let it get to you too much. You know who you are, you have a vision of where you're going. That type of confidence is fantastic. And when you're doing it out of a place of love, because you love what you do, you want to make the world a better place, you care about the people around you, you want to try to be the best you can, you want to honor the person next to you, right? When you're doing it like that, that's the real, I don't even like to say alpha, maybe I'll call it gamma, all right? You know, whatever. That's the real thing that you want to shoot for, that you want to try to achieve. And I just was reminded of that last night. So anyways, having a great time here in Vegas, and hope all is well back at home. Subscribe to this channel, give it a thumbs up, share it if you think it's worth sharing. Cheers.